The latest heinous allegations against Sean Diddy Combs in court documents come with a trigger warning.
They said you R-worded this woman when she was 17 years old.
The depravity has scarred her for life.
All of the girls is in the club after a while. They all running, opening up their mouth like little birds. He's running around just popping pills in their mouth. Pop pill, 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 pill.
How many more victims need to tell the same story?
Diddy is denying all allegations against him. He is accusing his victims of trying to money grab and using the system to spread lies. But his accusers are convincing. With hard evidence and similar behavioral patterns on paper, it seems like Diddy is guilty. So let's get into it. Everybody has been talking about Diddy for good reason, because he is a creep. Just when you think it couldn't get worse, a new story, a new lawsuit is filed, and there is more darkness coming out from Diddy's past. Now, this story is just straight up horrific, because he and the former president of Bad Boy Records, Diddy's label, are accused of gang R-wording a 17-year-old. Obviously, there are a lot of words we cannot use on YouTube, so I'm gonna try my best to tell this story. It's pretty triggering, so here's your warning. Because a woman claims that when she was 18, Diddy and his partner both assaulted her and human trafficked her. This incident went down back in 2003 when she was 17 and he was 34. This is another lawsuit where he and a partner have been implicated. There have been a few lawsuits where it's just Diddy, and then sometimes he has a right-hand man. And in this situation, it's the president of the record label at this point, and his name is Harve Pierre. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce his first name because it's French, but I believe it's like Harve or Harvey. What's interesting is that this accuser's attorney is named Douglas, and he also represented Cassie, who was one of the first people in recent time to accuse Diddy and file a lawsuit against him, despite them settling that case. They write the defendants preyed on a vulnerable high school teenager as part of a trafficking scheme that involved her taking drugs and alcohol and transporting her by private jet to New York, where she was harmed by multiple men. This all happened in Diddy's studio, but it all actually started with Harve Pierre, which is probably why he's implicated, because he met her at a lounge in Detroit. That's where he started to flirt with her and ended up talking about Diddy, his quote best friend. And that's when Diddy convinced this woman, who was half his age at the time, to come with him and Harve and go to New York City on the private jet. Before they took off, this woman claims that Harve actually smoked crack cocaine at the lounge and forced her to perform orally on him. The 14-page complaint alleges that once the private jet arrived to New York, they actually got to New Jersey. There was an SUV waiting for her. They picked her up and took her to Diddy's studio. The filing actually has a few different photos taken inside of Diddy's recording studio that night, where you can see the teen is sitting on Diddy's lap. Oh my gosh, that's some like hard evidence there.
Diddy is pictures of you on the internet. I don't know if you've seen it or not. If you didn't see it, I'm just here to like make sure you don't miss nothing. They said you R-worded this woman when she was 17 years old. That's what they said. And she said she got proof. She got photo evidence. That look like you to me. What y'all think? That look like Diddy to me. That look like him in his own studio.
Now, I am not a judge, I am not the justice system, so I don't want to declare him guilty over a picture, because you guys know, as a celebrity, fans take pictures all the time, but with all of this history, it's hard not to hear her out, especially when she claims that she became very inebriated and Diddy allegedly led her to the bathroom, removed her skirt and underwear, and penetrated her from behind. She never consented to hooking up with him, but he continued thrusting, the report claims. Oh my gosh, this is too much. He told her that he could not finish and asked her to squeeze his nipples as hard as she could to get him off. Oh, God, weirdo. Now, this lawsuit includes a large trigger warning in bright red letters on its cover page because she claims that she was slipping in and out of consciousness when she, at one point, looked into the mirror and realized that another man, one of Diddy's friends, were now harming her against her will. And of course, Diddy was still there. He was just sitting to the side, watching it all happen. She became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to hooking up with anyone, much less someone twice her age. She claims the unidentified man ignored her pleas to stop, but eventually got out of the way so Harv could take a turn. She claims that Harv first subjected her to non-consensual you know what? And then he finished by forcing her to orally do things. She remembers that he was sweaty and that she had difficult breathing. When he finished, he left her in the bathroom alone and she fell into the fetal position and laid on the floor. Her body was in pain. The suit claims that she eventually regained her bearings but could barely stand up and had to be helped walking out of the building into a car. She was taken back to the airport and then flown to Michigan. She claims because of this incident, she's had a ton of emotional distress, which totally makes sense, and feelings of shame. And it looks like this guy Harv is as much of a monster as Diddy is because there have been other lawsuits filed in New York and he's been mentioned and a few other as well.
Yeah, they said that you actually watched when your homeboy took his turn. That kind of sound real familiar to the Cassie court documents. The one you settled in 24 hours. I don't think you can get out of this one. Like how many more victims need to tell the same story? And then these are victims from all different walks of life as well. Like,
especially when they sound very familiar. I mean, keep in mind that Diddy and his friend Aaron Hall took turns R-wording, assaulting someone and her friend back in the early 90s. In that suit, supposedly Diddy became irate and began assaulting and choking Jane Doe to the point that she passed out. So very violent and aggressive. I feel like if I was like personally in this type of situation, which like God forbid, like it sounds horrific, like I would be scared of him turning violent on me if you try to fight back. Now, because of all of this unwanted attention on Diddy's part, he's trying to keep it clean, and that's by denying everything. I mean, he has settled with Cassie, which I think is kind of him admitting to guilt, but these other lawsuits, they're not going away. He has stepped down as a chairman of his media company and reportedly was dropped by Harlem Charter School he co-founded. So there are other brands. I mean, a tequila brand is trying to drop him. A lot of people are separating themselves from Diddy, and he's having to now step down because of these allegations. Like, they're too bad to ignore.
There might be enough information out there, or this trial could get ugly enough where Diddy and his team are like, yo, we just got to pay her and then try to bury this shit.
And that's always been the old school way, right?
When somebody settles, you start to think, oh, they just wanted money. If you want justice for a crime, a lot of times people will go, okay.
You go the criminal route, not the civil.
Exactly. When you're just going the civil route, to me, it speaks a little bit to, uh-oh, this person might be after some money. It is possible
100%.
that someone could see financial incentive and then take advantage of it and then sue him when something didn't happen. It's also very possible that women are now emboldened or empowered by this first person doing it, and they go, wow, now I feel safe enough to go after this powerful man, an incredibly powerful man. Okay, I'm going to also file a lawsuit based on this very real thing that happened to me. All these are possible.
Now, I understand where that guy is coming from because there are people who take advantage of the system and they appropriate a victim position and try to get some money out of it. But I do not feel like this is the case. I mean, even with Cassie settling, I think part of it is because Diddy is a dangerous man. We've talked about in past videos where business partners have conveniently died. There have been like hits on other people. There's a lot of scary things happening behind the scenes. I mean, look at Kim Porter and how she died, and then how the man who did her autopsy like passed away. Like, things happen in Diddy's world and he just ends up winning. And this situation with Cassie seems like the same thing. Like, I feel like he went back to her, and I mean, this is alleged. This is all alleged. This is my opinion. This is like what I would imagine could happen. He would go back to Cassie and say, I'm going to pay you a lot of money, and if you don't accept it, like, your family's done. And I would not be shocked if that's the case, but that's just like my alleged like theory.
The latest heinous allegations against Sean Diddy Combs in court documents come with a trigger warning. This is the unidentified woman making them. Jane Doe's attorney says the depravity has scarred her for life. Arthur Aidala is a former prosecutor and current defense attorney. He explains it was brought under a New York victims law, despite the statute of limitations running out.
The New York City Council opened up a 2-year window from March of 2023 to March of 2025, and that's what they filed it under.
The Canadian citizen hired the same New York lawyers who brought up bombshell lawsuit against Combs last month.
It was widely reported that that case was settled for a significant amount of money, and again, where has she been?
It's the fourth lawsuit in the last few weeks plaguing the rap mogul. Former publicist Rob Shooter, who repped him in the early 2000s, says it's surprising.
The Diddy that I knew, the Diddy that I saw, was certainly not the Diddy that is appearing in this court document.
Now, I know Diddy is not happy with all of these people talking about him and these allegations and having to lose these brands, having to step down. As someone who's always seen themselves as a power figure in the industry, it seems like his empire is falling apart. So he decides to put out a statement claiming that enough is enough. He writes, "For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of those awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." Now, I understand he has his right to defend himself, but there's a lot of allegations. The settlement with Cassie doesn't look good. I just don't know how much leeway to give him. If any of this goes to court, then the truth will be figured out. A spokesperson for Diddy claims that these claims involving the alleged misconduct on Diddy's part from over 30 years ago are filed at the last minute and are completely denied and rejected by him. He recognizes this as a money grab. Because of Diddy's fame and success, he is an easy target for accusers. The public should not be skeptical and rush to accept these unsubstantiated allegations. So they're denying it all. There's no denying that Diddy is a very successful man in the music industry. It's part of the reason why he's scary. But there are a lot of people he has crossed over his time, and now they are looking to ruin him. Like, for example, 50 Cent is supposedly developing a documentary about Diddy's essays. Now, 50 Cent is one of the biggest trolls out here, so I don't know if I believe this, but he announced that he's producing this documentary about Diddy and all these allegations against him. A representative for 50 Cent's production company confirmed this. The untitled Diddy documentary is in development through G-Unit Film and Television with 50 Cent, which I'm like, oh shoot, I would be careful if I was 50 Cent. 50 Cent is now teasing the film on Instagram, saying the documentary will blow you away. Diddy, do it or not coming soon. He also shared a snippet of raw footage that have already been shot for the project, so he's really going after him. And I mean, if you look at his Instagram, he is using his platform to pretty much expose him, so good for him for challenging someone who is so powerful in his industry. In the video that 50 Cent leaked, Mark Curry, a former Bad Boy artist, did an interview talking about how Diddy would spike bottles of champagne and serve them to women at his parties. He was signed to Diddy's record label from 1997 through 2005. And he actually wrote a book, Dancing with the Devil, about his experiences while signed to Diddy's label.
And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they been to have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles. Just don't mess with them bottles, right? Then all of the girls is in the club after a while. They all running, opening up their mouth like little birds. He's running around just popping pills in their mouth. Pop, pill. And then that was the party. I used to, you know, we used to be on the road, you know, you'd be like, yo, let me go to my Puff room, see what they doing. And you knock on Puff door, he'd be sitting there damn near butt naked. You ever just had a grown ass man answer his hotel door butt naked and they'd be like, come on in? You'd be like, I'll come back.
Honestly, I'm saying prayers for anyone in this documentary because I would be worried. But good for them for telling their truth, and they should be brave, and we have to support them. But 50 Cent, he's had a feud with Diddy ever since 2018 after, I guess, he offered to purchase one of Diddy's companies. So there's been a feud for a minute, and it's gotten online, it's been offline, so it kind of makes sense that he jumped on this project, but who knew he would be like so quick at it? 50 Cent also accused Diddy of being involved in Tupac's murder, which if you guys want a video about that, comment below. And he's actually doubled down on this accusation, so they have a lot of beef between them. So we need to send good vibes to everyone featured in this documentary because it's a scary position to be in. But I want to hear what you guys think about everything in general. Do you think that Diddy could be victim of these people like falsifying these stories. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that because you can't lie in a lawsuit, and like there are so many stories and they're all pretty similar. The settlement with Cassie, I mean, Cassie is like the biggest name who has accused him, so settling with her is probably the best idea because their lawsuit would be huge. Everyone would be talking about it. But I also don't want to jump to conclusions, so I don't know. I personally think that he is clearly guilty of something if all these people are coming forward, but I want to see a proper like court hearing, investigation, discovery before a settlement. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.